Okay.
I think I still got a delay. I forgot to change the delays.
What's the purpose of having a delay?
Like if
We touch, we break, make it seem like we feel the same. We love what we hate. We lie, but we know we can't water what doesn't grow.
Hey guys,
Hello.
did you guys know? Here's some fun facts. Did you know Tupac is not dead? We never actually landed on the moon. Aliens are real. Angelina Jolie has a drug addiction problem.
Yee.
Britney Spears is engaged and for the first time in her life is trouble-free. Kurt Cobain did not commit suicide. Has anybody seen Courtney lately? Turns out Warren Beatty is so vain. Katy Perry might actually be Jean-Benet Ramsey. Walt Disney is as cold as Elsa's hands. And finally, for my friend, did you know that Stevie Nicks blew cocaine up her butt to get high? This is Wood and Ash, and welcome to Mental Policing.
Good enough, slow down, this ain't love.
Did you know?
Well, we
I
fell
didn't.
apart just in time. Ooh, you say at least it was worth
Hi, if you're on Facebook watching, can you say hello? If you're on Instagram watching live, can you say hello? I know I've got the audio going, the music playing, but it's for the recording of the podcast.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, so if you're watching and you caught the typed titled intro, maybe you have an idea of what we're talking about. Hopefully you do. If you caught my intro of those things, all those things I started this episode with are completely true. Mostly, kind of, maybe. I don't know. Some of those things might be made up. Some might be real. And some might be a combination of the two. How many things have we heard, though? How many of those things have we heard? And we actually believe. We believe that they either are true or they have some validity in them. And we've heard them so much that they almost can't not be true. But then you think to yourself, if I knew just a little bit more, maybe then you could make a better decision. Well, here's an interesting piece of information that is actually true. On average, people spend about 52 minutes a day gossiping out of 16 waking hours. So, one study concluded that gossip, no matter where you are, is ubiquitous. If you're like me, yes, I needed to look up the word ubiquitous.
I had no idea either.
Yeah. It means that it can be found everywhere. It means no matter where you live, work, eat, or party, gossip will be there. How many times have you been at work and you heard so-and-so did this or did that?
Whether it's true or not, right? Or I mean, positive or not.
Right, yes. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a minute. You hear somebody did something over here, they did something over there, and you're just like, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not going to find out. So you just run with the story. Or a person is on admin leave, and you begin to fill in the blanks, or your friend or somebody you know fills in those blanks, whether they have the information or not. Now, how often are you given information from a quote-unquote credible source, and that source turns out to be completely wrong? There are people that thrive on misinformation. I know, shocking. And they work with us even. not just the public, not just random people, but they actually work with us. There are people that would create a story just to see how it goes around and what that game of telephone that they've created looks like when it gets back to them. We're all guilty of this, falling into it. We all fall prey to it from time to time. We have to be careful about the traps we fall into while doing this job. To go back a few episodes, and something I've mentioned a few times now on this podcast, is it's so easy for us to eat our own. It's easy, for whatever reason, to hurt ourselves from the inside in our own people. Not like we don't have enough to deal with when it comes to the public. So gossip is one of those main things that can really, really hurt us. Even simple bits of gossip can become a big problem if we let it. So when someone quits the profession, or they lose their job even, we all want to know why. Maybe there are NDAs, the non-disclosure things, in place and no one can speak of it. But it sometimes feels like, this is for me speaking, from my experience, it sometimes feels like that there's transparency in this job with everybody on the outside, but there's never enough transparency on the inside. And so we begin to fill in the blanks with why somebody lost their job, even if it's completely off base. But we don't have enough information, and we're never given just a little bit more just to have a better understanding. And sometimes we have to wait until we read those in the post-council meeting, when it goes over cases of people that have been fired and terminated for what reasons. And then we're like, whoa, I think that belonged to so-and-so. And then that starts a whole nother rumor and gossip going around. Maybe it wouldn't matter at all if we were told that by the uppers or the people that are in charge of making those decisions. Maybe it wouldn't matter at all. Maybe some people just want to be in the know, and they're going to change it to twist that truth no matter what it is.
Make it more entertaining.
Yes, whether they have facts or not, some people just like to twist it. But gossip isn't always bad. It can be good if it's constructed that way, or if we try to make it that way. That's your cue.
I'm going to talk That's me. That's you. Positive gossip can serve several purposes. Among these are to establish, develop, and maintain relationships, or create strong group bonds, to learn how to behave socially, and to resolve conflicts, and also to influence others. Positive gossip could look like sharing in other people's accomplishments, and celebrating in their achievements, or helping develop a positive view of someone.
Yes.
Which, someone's always on time, they're always happy, always positive, always upbeat, or a coworker received a promotion or an award, or they did an excellent job on a call or solving a case, a big case, a cold case, or a coworker diffused an intense situation in a good way. Like, those are all
right. And I don't even think, and I think as far as a gossip is concerned with it, we're not even talking about like letting that person know face to face while you're with them, hey, you did a great job. That's one thing. That's praise in and of itself. But
yes.
When that person leaves and now you're left with somebody else, to continue that praise of that person once they have left, because then that positive reinforcement of that person that just left, you pass that on to one person, then that person will pass it on to another person, and then it becomes a game of telephone in which somebody did something really good. So then it becomes good gossip, and not always negative and not always bad.
Not hurtful.
Right. We're always quick to jump on the negative. It's very easy to point out the negative, and the negative is, and the story, it's sexy. Sometimes just doing your job, being there and doing something good, it's not as sexy. It's just, that's what you're supposed to do. But that's okay. And the more of that we spread around, the fewer negative stories will float around about people. And then we're not eating our own as much as we are building our own up.
Building
And I
a
think
team.
that's the more important message is gossip because it's there and it's going to be, but do it in a positive way. Like you said, if somebody does something good or they get a promotion, there's nothing wrong with, especially if it's, say, a friend of yours gets promoted, you can always say to the next person, oh, they'll do great. I believe they'll do good because of this, that, and the other. And not get hung up in the, well, it should have been me, or it should have been that guy because the one that just got promoted does this or that. While that may be true, that doesn't harvest good energy and good positive gossip towards that person.
Good building.
It just hurts more than it builds up. So, gossip is, that was a long pause. I was trying to remember the word. Gossip is ubiquitous. That is true. But it doesn't always have to be bad. It can be very good too. And stop trying to eat our own. Let's build each other up. Let's be positive.
Does it help? Is it happy? Is it positive? Is it going to hurt someone? Is it going to destroy their life? Don't.
Too often we see that gossip can really destroy somebody, and it's unfortunate. But we can change that. We can start and we can strive to make a change. Because we're about out of time, before we wrap it up, because this is live and the video recorded, and then we also post audio only for those of you that only watch the video. I want to just tell you, I recorded, Ash was there for the last about 10 or so minutes, an episode this last week. It was not released live nor on video. It was only released on the audio. So if you want to listen to it, go check it out, Mental Policing, and that's on any podcast catcher. That's on Apple, Spotify, Google. There's so many others.
It was a wonderful conversation.
And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the post before today, it's about retirement and one officer that has recently retired and his process and his mindset on why he decided to take that next step into retirement. So check it out. I promise you'll enjoy listening to that. And I see that a bunch of you have. So go check that out on whatever podcast catcher you listen to podcasts on. And come back. Let me know what you think. Hopefully this week, the one we have lined up, we'll be able to show. And it'll be great. It's going to be a follow-up to the one we had last week. So you're going to want to catch the one last week and get this one coming. So with that, I'm going to leave you with this. As Marie Curie said, be less curious about people and more curious about ideas. This is Wood.
And Ash.
And this is Mental Policing. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
We keep playing games, can't go separate ways.
On vibration.
Break up all the same. We keep playing games, can't go separate ways. Break up all the same. Well, we fell apart just in time. Ooh, you say at least it was worth the try.
Oh, okay. Well.